Okay, I'm going to do this quick and try not to bore you. This is 3D Simple, and it's a program for this thing right here. And this is a test program it ran through a wizard to help me calculate the temperature to run my tool at. It told me, for example, that I've been running my tool too hot, which is why when I made this object it came out fine, and when I made this one it came out like crap. But anyway, this program is pretty handy because it simplifies 3D printer settings. It's kind of a GUI. It uses skein. It changes hundreds of settings behind the back. So a lot of things it does kind of magical. You can kind of see this is represented to the layers and the size of your plastic string, your filament. So you notice this right here makes it thicker, and this right here changes the layer separation. Those are really the only two things that are, directly visible to a beginner using the reprap. Let me see. I have a model loaded up here. You can go browse, bed clamp, and preview 3D model. Let's go ahead and this is the 3D model. We got load reprap if we wanted to load reprap software. For those that use the reprap and print directly to the printer and don't use an SD card cartridge or anything like that. So anyway, this program, so everything's kind of there. And let's see. Then I got Python code showing, so it's going to show the script. Then this right here, it saves the settings to G-code. So you have an STL. It's being converted right now. And since I have the arrow check there to show Python code, it's going to go ahead and show this script. So this program simplifies the hundreds of SkeinForge settings. SkeinForge is a wonderful program for generating G-code from STL. It generates the slices, and it generates some good paths as long as you have the time to set the hundreds of settings, or as long as you use this 3D Simple program. So this 3D Simple program counts on your printer being set up to work correctly. So if it doesn't, then you'll have problems. So I created a setup wizard, and the setup wizard is helpful. I'll show you here in a second. Let me see. Okay, so one thing here I'll show. There's where the files would be. Simulate G-code. It's loading replicator G, and it's actually going to go ahead and it's loading the program, and then you click right there, and it's going to actually simulate this part that we did. There we go. So it's just kind of showing layer by layer and things like that. So rather than have to load everything separate, the Simple 3D told the programs what to load and stuff. That's really nothing special, other than it's just faster to see what you got and everything. But this Calibration Wizard, it asks you questions. I pre-entered 225 for my two temps, and so it runs this test. It prints this pattern, or it will print this pattern. This program's still being tested. So this one checks the temp that you need to extrude plastic. This one right here is plastic on plastic. So it basically would be the same thing that I had right here, except it would be a layer on top. And so this would probably be over here, and then there would be another one like this over here, and then a whole bunch of those squares, like these. So the idea is it prints 20 of these at different temps. It prints 20 of these at different temps. This one you're looking for when plastic comes out. This one you're looking for when the plastic no longer sticks to other plastic, and those are that will give you the temperatures that I need for all my settings to plug into SkyneForge. And this is basically for the speed that your printer can run. Each one of these will run at an ever accelerating speed, and when you start to have errors, it will be really visible, and you'll enter that into this program. And so this wizard is something that I'm working on. Otherwise, the other code's there. But once you calibrate to the wizard, then let's say, for example, you say, hey, I'm seeing space between my my layers. So you say, okay, I'll move my layers closer together. Well, this program will compensate your speed, your temp, everything like that, so the layers can be closer together for SkyneForge, and then run it. And so the other thing too is, let's say you no longer want draft mode. You want a good object that's very high quality. You uncheck the draft mode. Let's say you want to have a hollow hexagon field mold, where the SkyneForge has a setting where it will have your mold be hollow, and have your mesh be hollow, and have a kind of a hexagon fill. And this is that setting will enable that setting in SkyneForge. So the idea basically is this will simplify things so that somebody can be up and running and have a reprap that works the way it should in probably a day or less.